Hello students, welcome back. I am Megakshi Rana, your mathematics teacher on study room, and today we are going to study about the chapter 6 of class 8th mathematics. So it is about squares and square roots. It's a very fun and interesting chapter and you will learn a lot many things under it. So first of all, let's begin with square numbers. Now, if a natural number m can be expressed as n squared, where what is this n? This n is actually a natural number, then m is a square number. So, if m can be written as n squared, then this m number is said to be a square number, where this n is a natural number. Now, we have some examples of square numbers like 1, 4, 9, 25. We know that 1 is the square of 1. 4 is the square of 2, 9 is of 3 and 25 is of 5. So since all these numbers can be written in this form, that is why these numbers are known as square numbers. What's next? So finding square of a number. How do we find the square of a number? So we know that if n is the number, then its square will be given by n into n, that is n square. So we write it as n into n, that is written as n raised to power 2 and it is read as n square. So this is how we can find the square of the given number. Example, area of square of side 5 cm. So you know that the formula for the area of a square is side square. This is how you write the area. I am denoting it by A. So the area of this square will be side square. Side is given to be 5. So the area will be 5 into 5 or it can be written as 5 square. That is 25. And this 25 is nothing but actually the square of 5. And this is the area. 25 centimeter square is the area of this ABCD square. This is how you can find the squares. Now we have a brainstorming question with us. It is written as, is 32 a square number? So just brainstorm and find that we know that 1 square equals to 1, 2 square equals to 4, 3 square equals to 9, next 4 square equals to 16, 5 square equals to 25 and 6 square equals to 36. So we're getting 25 and then after 25 we have a square number that is 36. In between there is no square number. So we can say that 32 is not a square number. No, because we cannot find, there does not exist any A whose square is 32. There is not any A whose square can give us 32. Therefore, 32 is not a square number. What's next? So see, here you can see that we are given number and their squares. We know 1, if the number is 1, its square is 1, 2 square is 4, 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16, 5 square is 25, 6 square is 36, 7 square is 49, 8 square is 64 and 9 square is 81. While 10 square is 100. We know these. Now, next up is find the perfect square numbers between these and these numbers. First part is we need to find the perfect square numbers. So, what are perfect square numbers? First of all, I'll let you know. So, these squares you can see here 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100. These are actually known as perfect squares. So why do we call these numbers perfect squares? Because they are actually the square of some number. They are the square of some natural number. You can see these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All these are the natural numbers and their squares give us these values 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81 and 100. So these are called the perfect squares because they are the squares of some natural numbers. So this is what is known as a perfect square number. Now let's find the perfect square number that lies between 30 and 40. So from here you can see that 30 and 40, here we have 25, here we have 36 and here we have 49. So between 30 and 40 we have this square, perfect square, that is 36. So what is the perfect square number between 30 and 40? It is 36, which is equal to 6 square. Now next up we have a perfect square number between 50 and 60. So 50 and 60, let's go back. Here we can see 49 and then 64. So here we have 49, and after that this perfect square number is 64. You can see that we do not have any perfect square between 49 and 64. That is, we do not have, no such number exists. No such number between these two, 50 and 60. There is no perfect square between 50 and 60 because we have 149 and after that we have 64. No number in between these two. Next we have some properties of square numbers. First of all, we are asked to observe the last digits of squares. So here we have some squares and we are asked to observe the last digits of these squares. So what are the last digits or the digits at the unit place? They are 1, 1, 4, 9, 6, 5, 0. Again 1, 4, 9, 6. So you can see that the last digits of squares can only be 1, either 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 or 9. Either 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 and 9. The last digits of squares can only be 0, 1, 4, 5, 6, 9. This is one of the properties of square numbers. These are only the digits that can be at the unit place of squares. While we cannot have 2, 3, which are the numbers left? 7 and 8. We cannot have 2, 3, 7, 8 at the unit place of square number. We will see more about it. So here's the first property. If a number has 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 or 9 in its units place, then it may or may not be a square number. There's a possibility that the number ending with these digits may be a square number or may not be a square number. But if the number ends with 2, 3, 7 or 8, then it is definitely not a square number. So a number that ends with these 4 digits number, any of these 4 digits at its unit place can never be a square number. So those digits are 2, 3, 7 or 8. A number ending with 2, either 2, 3, 7 or 8 can never be a square number. Let's proceed. Find whether these numbers are square numbers or not. So for finding this, that whether these numbers are square numbers or not, we can easily check it by the digit at units place. First of all, we have 7. So I have told you here by the property 1, if a number ends with 7, that cannot be a square number. So this is not a square number. Why? Because it ends with 7. Next is 3. Again not a square number because 2, 3, 7 and 8. Here 2, 3, 7 and 8. Number ending with all these 4 cannot be a square number. Again 8, no. 2, no. 9. So the number ending with 9 can or cannot be. Well, it's not obvious that that number will be a square number, or we cannot actually predict it directly by seeing the last digit if the digit is any one of these 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 or 9. So since this number ends with 9, we cannot say that either this will be a square number or not. So maybe or maybe not. Similarly 1, maybe or maybe not. We cannot predict it just by this. Another property for square numbers is property number 2. If a number has 1 or 9 in its unit place, then its squares ends in 1. So it's written that any number that ends with either 1 or either 9 at its unit place will have a square that will end in 1. So a number ending with 1 or 9 in its units place will always have a square that ends in 1. You can see from these examples, square of 1 is 1, 9 is 81, 11 square is 121, 19 square is 361, 21 square is 441. So a number ending with 1 or 9 will have a square that ends with 1. Very important property. Here we have a question to try. Which of these numbers would end with digit 1? So what are these? Raised to power 2. That means these are this. We need to find the squares and which of these numbers square would end with digit 1. So from this property you can see that the number that will have 1 or 9 at its unit place, that number square will end in 1. You can see no, because it has 3. No, because it has 7. Now 2, no again. 1, yes. Since it has 1 at its units place, its square will end with the digit 1. Similarly, 9 at its unit place, its square will end with the digit 1. This is how you find this. Next is property number 3. So property 3 for square numbers is that when a square number ends in 6, then the number whose square it is will have either 4 or 6 in its unit place. So it's just the opposite, like the vice versa thing of the previous one, that now it's written about the square number ending with this digit. So when a square number ends with digit 6, then the number whose square that number is will have either 4 or either 6 in its unit place. You can see this from this example. So we have number 4, its square will end with 6. Number 6 square will end with 6 again because it is 36. 14 square is 196 again ending with 6. 16 square is 256 again ending with 6. So the squares that end with 6, for the numbers who square these numbers are, will have either 4 or 6 at its unit place. Let's try a question related to it. Now, which of the following numbers would have digit 6 at unit place? That is, again, we have to find that these numbers are given and we need to find the squares and check that in the squares of these given numbers, which square will have the digit 6 at its unit place. So that will be from this property the numbers that will have either 4 or 6 at units place. 9, so no. 4, since the digit at units place is 4, it will end with digit 6. Its square will end with digit 6. 6, yes. 6, yes. 4, yes. So this is how you use this property to solve such questions. What is next? So next we have what will be the ones digit in the square of the following numbers. We need to find the digit at the ones place in the square of all these numbers. That can be easily determined. How can we easily determine that? See, here we have 1234. A number is 1234. Its square will end with this digit ending. You can see, just focus on the digit at units place. Since it has 4, so 4 square is 16. That means since 4 square is 16, that means its square ends with 6. So same digit will be present at the units place for this whole digit square. So that is, since 4 square is 16, therefore the number that will be at the ones digit for the square of this number will be 6. Similarly, you can find for this number 7, so 7 square is 49, number will be 9 at the end, at the units place, you can say. So here it ends with 8, 8 square is 64, number at units place will be 4, again 0, number will be 0 at the units place. For the fifth number it is 2, 2 square is 4, number will be 4, and for the last one 6 square is 36, so number will be 6. This is how you can find the digit at the ones place or the units place in the square of these following numbers. You just need to find the digit at the square of the last digit present in these numbers. Next we have this thing. You can see that 10 square is 100, 20 square is 400, 80 square is 6400. So we have 1 zeros and in their squares we have 2 zeros. Now for these, 100 square is, you can see 10,000. Similarly, 200 square is 40,000. Similarly for these numbers. Here in these numbers we have 2 zeros. So in their square we have 4 zeros. But we have 4 zeros in their square. When we had 1 zero in the number, we had 2 zeros in its square. So we can say that property 4 of square numbers, it states that a square number can only have even number of zeros at the end. So a square number can only have even number of zeros at the end. You can see it from these examples, and the number of zeros actually get doubled. So when the number of zeros get doubled, that means we are going to have the number of zeros that will be even in the square of the number. Let's check. Okay, so here we have this property number 5 now. Square of an even number is also an even number, and square of an odd number is also an odd number. What does property 5 states? It states that if there is an even number, its square will also be even number. And if there is an odd number, its square will also be an odd number. Very easy. See from examples, 11 is an odd number. Its square 121 is also an odd number. 12 is an even number. Its square 144 is also an even number. Similarly, 13 being an odd number has its square also an odd number. Even, odd, even, odd, and similarly all these have, if the number, so we can say if the number is even, its square will be even. If the number is odd, its square will be odd. Let's jump into the next. So the next slide has these questions to do. The square of which of the following numbers would be an odd number or an even number, and why? You need to state the reason as well. So I just told you that a number that will be even will have a square that will be even, and a number that will be odd will have a square that is odd. So it's written that the square of which of the following numbers would be an odd or even number, that depends on the number itself. So since this number is odd, its square will be odd. This number is even, its square will be even. This number is odd, its square will be odd, and this number is even, its square will be even as well. What's the next question? What will be the number of zeros in the square of the following numbers? So we know that from property number 4 states that a square number can only have even number of zeros at the end. And I told you that for squaring, the number of zeros that get double in the square. So since it has only one zero, its square will have 2 zeros. And it has 2 zeros, its square will have 4 zeros. The number gets doubled. So this was all about this property. This was all about this property. All these properties for square numbers. In the next video section, we are going to learn about some more interesting patterns for part 1. We'll meet in the next video. Till then, bye bye.